Welcome to Live at Lunch, broadcast on KRFC 88.9 FM from the Ginger and Baker studio in the heart of the Music District in beautiful Old Town Fort Collins, Colorado. We're also streaming live on KRFC 88.9 FM. My name is Ben, I'm your host, and our guest today's music is described as desert rock. They're a four-piece band, and their music is said to be inviting its listeners to imagine they're driving in a fast car through the cold, lonely desert night of Western United States. Please welcome our musical guest, Soviet Mothers. Hey, thanks for tuning in. That's Soviet Mothers. And we just heard two songs from them. The first one was Rat Bastards, and the second one was called Monsters Like Me. Hey, welcome to Live at Lunch, you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. So, Paul, you're the lead singer, guitar player in the band. We've got Matt Peterson on drums, Kellen Chaffee on bass and vocals, and we also have Brandon Shockey on electric guitar. Paul, you founded the band in 2015 as a three-piece, right?
Yeah, I mean, technically, originally it was a two-piece, and we couldn't find a bass player that we really like kind of vibed with, so we actually decided to bring in somebody to do keys and synthesizer and just kind of do the low end on that. And that kind of defined a lot of our sound for a long time. And we went from that into a four-piece and then quickly to a five-piece. And the band basically did that up until the pandemic. And everybody kind of went their separate ways. So after the pandemic, I ended up kind of reforming everything. Kellen and one of our past members, Stefan, came on, and we started playing as a three-piece again. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of evolved. I mean, we just brought Brandon back on. I say back on. It's his first time playing with us, but like, we brought him on again as like a lead guitarist, and because for the longest time, like when we rewrote everything to kind of fit this three-piece again, I wasn't quite sure when was the right time to bring a lead guitar back into the mix, and I think for all intents and purposes, like he brings a whole lot to this, and that's kind of like where we were wanting to get back to. So we might be a five-piece again one day.
Yeah, whatever works, right?
Yeah.
So has it changed the way that you write now, that you have two guitars versus before when maybe you didn't?
Yes and no. So yeah, definitely when I first wrote all of these songs a long time ago, I kind of wrote them in a vacuum by myself. So, there's just a lot of guitar going on. And when we brought on a lead guitarist, when we were playing as a five-piece the first time around, we really had to figure out like, okay, well, how do we incorporate another guitar? And we ended up with these like really big solo sections and things like that, which was great, but also like, I don't know if it added more to the music. I think for some songs it did and some it didn't. So that's always been kind of one of the push-pulls of like, trying to figure out like, where's the balance with what we're doing. With what Brandon and I are doing in the band, we're really like trying to find that balance of like playing off of each other instead of like having defined roles of lead guitar or rhythm guitar. So like in that last song, we kind of have like a solo together where we play back and forth.
Nice. So, Brandon, were you always into desert rock, or is this something that is new to you in playing with Soviet Mothers?
I would say, yeah, mainly. I kind of started off, I mean, there's a strange way I started with Black Sabbath basically way back, and then it kind of evolved to where I ended up getting into Queens of the Stone Age type of stuff. And
well, that's kind of the quintessential desert rock band, probably one of the most popular ones, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Kellen? Were you always into desert rock, or is this?
I'm more of a metalhead, actually. I started off, I guess the first band I really listened to was Blue Oyster Cult. I saw that SNL skit with Will Ferrell and the cowbell, and I was just like, that's amazing. And then my dad was like, that's an actual band, And I was like, no way. So, but yeah, I was more into metal. The drummer that he was mentioning, Stefan, me and him actually played in a project together, and then he was like, hey, I'm playing in a rock band if you want to do something besides just metal. So that's what got me involved in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first
so
band
you're
I
also in
loved.
another band. Is it Choreos?
Yes. Yep.
And is that a metal band?
Yeah, we were like proggy death metal, sort of. Death metal with some proggy tendencies, definitely. But
Yeah.
it's fun stuff.
Cool. What about you, Matt? You'll drum to anything, or is this your sweet spot?
Yeah, I drum to a lot of things. I was raised on like early, super heavy rock like Sabbath and Zeppelin, and some prog rock, and eventually got really into like alternative rock, like the Pumpkins, Foo Fighters sort of stuff. I'm in another band that's like alternative psych rock. But I've always loved Queens of the Stone Age, and I actually overheard Brandon at Foco MX this year talking about how they're about to be short a drummer, so I knew him and Paul well enough to feel comfortable reaching out and seeing if they wanted to hang out,
Very nice. Well, you got another song ready for us. It's called Red Stripe. And is there a funny story behind this title?
The title is literally what was in my hand at the time, and I drink Red Stripe beer on occasion. It's one of those things where it was supposed to be a placeholder, and it's 7 years have gone by, and it's still what we call the song.
All right, Soviet Mothers with their song Red Stripe. Soviet Mothers playing live for us on Live at Lunch today. Paul, what was the name of that last song?
That last song is Holy Undead.
Holy Undead?
Lover, lover.
Lover, lover.
Oh, okay.
Minor lapse of consciousness.
I want to come back to that. I want to talk about this desert rock thing a little bit more, and then I'll leave it alone. But it's interesting to me because it's a relatively new genre of music, maybe late 80s, early 90s, came out of the Palm Desert scene. And it's like a mashup of punk rock, blues music, psychedelic music, and metal. And I know, Brandon, you focus mainly on metal. But I wonder, do you guys purposely try to stick to the desert rock genre, or you just play whatever happens?
I mean, as far as I've ever thought, like with this, like, I hate being put in a box.
Yeah.
And like the one thing
does.
that like, the one thing I've always liked about desert rock and like certain types of goth music and new wave, and it's like a lot of the stuff from the 80s and the 90s, like it really subverted what we would traditionally think of as genres. And like, I think that's the one thing I appreciate about this project. There's very few things we ever like come up with that wouldn't work in the context of what we do. I mean, we have some weird stuff that we haven't started playing as much, but you know, so it's like, I think that's the thing is like, it's a genre that one, I have loved, and growing up in the Southwest and living in Phoenix for a long time, like I definitely understand the psychology behind like desert rock and like how the desert has this very like weird vibe to it where you're just like, you're kind of alone in an ocean full of cactus. But yeah.
Well, and I don't think there's probably a single musician out there that likes being put in a box and categorized in a genre. But if you had to be put in one, the desert rock name's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can hear influences from lots of different things in what you do. And also, I can tell that the lyrics are important to you. What's your, how would you describe your writing style when you approach the lyrics to these tunes?
For whatever reason, I have like this very like dark sensibility with my vocals as far as like lyrical content. And it's kind of weird because it's like, I don't typically like lean towards that stuff, but I do really love stuff like, I love a lot of like kind of classic horror stuff and like Lovecraft kind of stuff where it's like, it's stories and like Poe, things like that, where it's like, they're not necessarily meant to be like overtly vulgar, so to speak, but they give you this like deep sense of dread. But there's also like this sense of like romance to it. And like, there's a lot of layers. Like even like when you think of things like Frankenstein or Dracula, right? It's like those stories are classic horror, but at their core, they really speak more to like the human condition. So that's why a lot of these songs kind of have like a little bit of a weird twinge as far as like the lyrical content. But
yeah, you don't think of a song called Lover Lover that has a bunch of stuff about blood in it, you know?
No, that song is, I wrote from the perspective of like, it's that ride or die bestie and or partner where it's like, it's the person you love so much that you help them hide a body. That's the best way to put that. But yeah. Because like you say, like it's a very macabre thing to think about, but also like it's in that like kind of vein of like classic horror and things like that. It is somewhat kind of, it's romantic. It's a bonding experience in a very weird way with a shovel on a rainy night and lightning. Anyway.
I wouldn't have thought of the Edgar Allan Poe reference, but I think that is a very good way to describe what you write. So you have 3 singles out now, and we heard a couple of those, Rat Bastard and what's the other one we heard?
So Lover Lover is one. Yeah. Rat Bastards, Lover Lover.
Monsters.
And Monsters Like Me. Monsters Like Me was actually the first single that was released back in 2018, I believe. And it's kind of interesting because that is a perfect example of what we sounded like as a 5-piece. Instrumentation was very different. The song has, like you say, synthesizer and keys and all these other things going on. And so it's kind of one of those ones where it's like, we have the ability to kind of expand and contract as needed. And that's what's fun about these songs. They translate pretty much any way you want to play them. What we did basically is we kind of like, we tried to rethink the song from a perspective of like, okay, we want to play this without like all of the synths and production and stuff, but like we want it to still have that kind of feeling. And so we really just kind of tried to pull back a little bit on like the intensity of what we typically do, and you know, give it its own space to breathe. And then we added like a little solo section where we play off of each other, which is cool. But anyway.
Well, I think I'd love to hear more. What do you want to play for us next?
I think Holy Undead was next.
Yeah, I think Holy Undead's
Holy
next.
Undead, that quick tune breaking into Satin Gold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is Live at Lunch. I'm Ben Dickinson. I'm your host. And our guest today is Soviet Mothers. And that song that they just played was called Satin and Gold. Paul, you mentioned before we started the show that was one of your favorite songs. What is it about that song that makes it stand out for you?
I think there's a couple things. I mean, it's our newest song, and it's the first song that we've written as a group. A lot of this stuff, like you say, happened in a vacuum over the years with me, like coming up with stuff and then bringing it to the band. And this song, I think, is a lot of fun because like there's so many parts where we play off of each other, and like it's a bit of a roller coaster. Props to Matt for having to learn this song in short notice. But yeah, I mean, like I don't know. It's the first song that just feels like we're together. If
That makes
any
sense.
Yeah.
Well, both those last songs, Satin and Gold and what's the other one?
Holy
Undead.
Yeah.
Have such memorable guitar riffs. Do you usually start there and then the lyrics come after that, or is it lyrics and then that feeds into your guitar?
I am not I don't do lyrics. Like for me, I kind of let the song help push me to where I need to be. And a lot of that comes from, just trying to like, to me, like if you've got a really good song, the lyrics are going to kind of like fill in and they're going to fall in behind that. Now that's not every genre. Cause like there's a lot of genres where like, if you are a rock solid songwriter and you've got like a 4 on the floor and a guitar, you can make that sound enormous. But for the type of music that we're playing, like it's kind of trying to figure out like how to tell a story, be clever about it, and then also like, give people the papa mau mau, if you will, with the guitars and the riffs and everything. And a lot of what we do is like, and I always kind of like, I feel crazy when I try to explain this to people, but like, as a band, I'm always like thinking about this as like, it's kind of like you're in a boat on the ocean and it's like, everything's got to move, in simpatico. Cause if it doesn't, it's kind of like we start clashing together. And so we have to think about all of these songs pretty in depth, especially now that we've brought Brandon in, because it's like two guitars trying to fight each other for space in a mix is difficult. So we've really kind of tried to work as a team and like figure out how we can make these parts hit even harder. And that's the big thing, because you want people to like feel it, when a part comes in. So
Yeah, that makes sense. And you guys bring different influences from a bunch of different bands. I know, Matt, you are new to this band on drums, but you also play with Race to Neptune. Is that right?
Right. I've been playing with those guys for going on like 7 years now. And yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun with them. I don't know. I find the styles between what I do with those guys and now, with Paul, Colin, and Brandon, it's not too far off. I get a little bit more space in this band for like, I don't know, more laid back groove and groovy pocket sort of stuff, and I love that kind of drumming.
Yeah, well, it's hard to tell that you're brand new to the band.
Oh, thank you.
You seem to fit right in.
I got a crash course.
we chained him up in the basement and wouldn't let him go home until he learned the songs.
Yeah, just blaring over an intercom speaker.
Yep.
Yeah. So for anybody who's wondering, Matt has been with us like maybe a month now.
Yeah, maybe a little over that.
Yeah, maybe a little over a
maybe
month.
little over.
So like having to learn all of this material, it's kind of like a fire hose. So
Yeah.
good on you, Matt.
Paul writes songs like an animal and likes to do a lot of different transitions and
My songs don't have complicated
changes,
parts.
and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
I'm but a humble rhythm guitarist.
Well, Soviet Mothers, you're playing for us. Thanks so much for being here. I want to take just a quick break and thank the people behind the scenes here. We've got Jamie Pimsler, Eric Delano, and Dan Perez on video. We've got Colton Benning, Greg Duras, and Jake Bryan on audio. And thanks, you guys. I know it's a lot to put this together, and we sure appreciate it. I also want to take a moment to remind folks that you can follow Live at Lunch on KRFC's RadioVision, which is on YouTube. There's lots of shows that are archived there. And if you hit the subscribe button, you can be sure that you won't miss future episodes of Live at Lunch. So we encourage you to do that. I got one quick question about for Soviet Mothers. Where did that name come from, Paul?
So it's kind of hilarious. So my friend, we were tracking. My friend was tracking a different band, and he was mixing. And on his console, he had a little nesting doll. And at the time, I do this thing like anytime I start a new band, I walk around with like a piece of receipt paper, and I just write down band names, and I force people to give me bad band names basically. And it had like come down to a couple different things, like Jesters of the Bronze Court, which was terrible. But I was like, that's because everybody knows I'm a Queens of the Stone Age nerd, and they're like, yeah, you should call it Jesters of the Bronze Court. And I was like, yeah, it's not terrible. It's not the worst thing. But I saw that nesting doll, and I was like, Soviet mothers, because nesting dolls are called Matryoshka, and Matryoshka means mother. It's just a bad joke.
Well, it works.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about band names is I always like it when you Google a band name, but you don't put band or music or anything with it. You just Google Soviet mothers, and all kinds of funny stuff comes up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, well, you've got a couple more songs for us. I think we have time for that.
Yeah.
What are you going to play next?
Heavy.
Heavy.
Supersonic.
Yeah.
Heavy,
This is Live at Lunch. I'm your host, Ben Dickinson, and thanks to Soviet Mothers for being our guest today. And just a reminder, Soviet Mothers is Paul Rogers on lead vocals and guitar, Matt Peterson on drums, Callan Chaffee on bass and vocals, and Brandon Shockey on electric guitar. You can find us at 88.9 FM KRFC, also on KRFC RadioVision on YouTube. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch, and thank you to the Music District here in the heart of Fort Collins, Colorado. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email our music director, David Vacek, at david@krfcfm.org.